In a quaint little town nestled on the edge of a lush and mysterious jungle, there lived a remarkable boy named Peter. Peter was known throughout the town for his insatiable thirst for adventure. While other kids were content with playing in the town square, Peter's heart yearned for the unexplored beauty of the green jungle. From a young age, Peter's fascination with the jungle was undeniable. His room was adorned with maps, wildlife sketches, and books about the dense, emerald wilderness that lay just beyond the town's borders. The townspeople affectionately referred to him as Peter the Adventurer. One sunny morning, as Peter sat on his porch sketching a vibrant toucan, he heard the distant call of a rare bird. It was a call he had never heard before, one that whispered secrets of hidden treasures and uncharted territories. His adventurous spirit was ignited. Peter knew this was a call he couldn't ignore. He grabbed his trusty backpack, filled it with supplies, and donned his explorer's hat. With his heart pounding with excitement, he ventured into the jungle, guided by the mysterious call. The jungle was a world unto itself, with towering trees that seemed to touch the sky and a symphony of wildlife sounds. Peter encountered colorful butterflies, playful monkeys, and exotic flora at every turn. He marveled at the jungle's beauty, taking in the vibrant sights and sounds. As Peter ventured deeper, he faced a series of challenges and obstacles. He had to cross a fast-flowing river on a rickety vine bridge, navigate through thick undergrowth, and even outsmart a mischievous jaguar. Through it all, his determination and bravery never wavered. Days turned into weeks as Peter trekked deeper into the heart of the jungle, following the call of the rare bird. Along the way, he made unexpected friends in the form of a wise old parrot and a gentle sloth. They shared their knowledge of the jungle and taught Peter the importance of respecting nature. Finally, after an arduous journey, Peter discovered the source of the mysterious call. It was a hidden waterfall, concealed behind a curtain of dense foliage. The sight was breathtaking, and Peter felt like he had unearthed a hidden gem. But his adventures weren't without purpose. With the help of his newfound friends, he realized that the jungle held secrets worth protecting. He learned the importance of conservation and promised to share the wonders of the jungle with the world while preserving its beauty. As he returned to his town, Peter's adventures in the green jungle had transformed him. He shared his stories and the lessons he had learned, inspiring others to appreciate the beauty of nature and protect it for future generations. Peter's town celebrated him as a hero, not just for his bravery and spirit of adventure, but also for his commitment to preserving the jungle's delicate balance. Peter, the boy who was once known as Peter the Adventurer, had become Peter the Protector, a symbol of courage and environmental stewardship. And so, Peter continued to embark on new adventures, not only in the green jungle but in the hearts and minds of those he inspired. Each journey was a testament to the power of one brave boy's love for nature and his unwavering commitment to its protection.